In this captivating video, we will delve into several astonishing incidents where unsuspecting individuals who turned out to be FBI agents were mistakenly apprehended by the police. Prepare to be amazed as we unravel one of the most remarkable encounters with law enforcement. At the outset, we witness a South Sudanese citizen peacefully going about his own business when suddenly he is approached by a group of inquisitive officers. It becomes apparent that the police officers are assuming his identity, leading the man to accuse them of racial profiling right from the start.
For what? You think? That's an illusion. That's an illusion. You think.
What follows is a series of intense arguments, and eventually, the man is unjustly placed in handcuffs. But hold on tight, because this is where the story takes an unexpected turn. Seizing the opportunity, the man persistently demands the officers to check his ID.
Matter of fact, look at my ID.
After what seems like an eternity, they reluctantly comply. Brace yourself for a hilarious twist as their expressions turn to sheer disbelief upon reading the inscription on his ID. You won't believe it, the man they had apprehended is, in fact, an FBI agent.
Hey, watch how funny this is. Go ahead,
Watch
look at
this.
it. No, don't hate me. Look at it.
Oh,
what does that say?
Fucked up.
What does that say? Oh!
This astounding revelation marks one of the most memorable instances of an encounter gone wrong for those who underestimated the wrong person. Nevertheless, the story continues as the man calls for a supervisor who arrives with trembling uncertainty. In a surprising display of wit, the man requests the officer's identification cards.
And I'm gonna follow the report on you, and you. Because you guys are all stupid.
Cleverly highlighting their previous assumptions. The once boastful cops are now rendered speechless, well aware that their actions may have serious repercussions for their careers. Let's delve into a shocking incident involving Chase Bishop, an FBI agent whose lack of professionalism put lives in danger. It happened on a night when people were enjoying themselves at a Denver nightclub, completely unaware that an FBI agent was amongst them. Agent Bishop, showing off his dance moves, decided to perform a backflip, causing his gun to fall from its holster onto the dance floor. In his attempt to retrieve the weapon, he accidentally discharged it, hitting a man named Tom Reddington in the leg. To the dismay of those around him, Agent Bishop seemed unconcerned, raising his hands with a smile on his face before leaving the scene. Denver police arrived, but Agent Bishop had already fled, attempting to evade accountability. Tom Reddington was promptly taken to the hospital where he received treatment for non-life-threatening injuries. Realizing he had been shot, Tom described the panic he felt, compounded by the sight of another man covered in blood. Despite his attempt to escape, Agent Bishop couldn't avoid the consequences. An arrest warrant was issued, and he turned himself into the Denver police. He faced charges of second-degree assault. While an investigation unfolded, Tom focused on recovering from his injuries, sharing his unbearable pain with the media. He acknowledged the recklessness of Agent Bishop's actions but expressed forgiveness, stating that he didn't want to ruin the agent's life and only desired a private phone call.
I don't want to ruin his life. I just want a private phone call from this guy.
However, the FBI and the court system held Agent Bishop accountable. He was promptly fired from his position, and in court, he pleaded guilty to third-degree assault, receiving a 2-year unsupervised probation sentence. District Attorney Beth McCann emphasized that this outcome aimed to seek justice for the victim while ensuring the prevention of such incidents in the future. Public scrutiny and criticism were directed towards Chase Bishop and the FBI, raising concerns about the use of weapons by off-duty law enforcement officers. The public's response reflected the belief that Bishop deserved the consequences he faced for his actions. Prepare to witness a shocking arrest unfold as the police put a man in handcuffs, initiating a series of events that will leave you astounded. As the man's credentials come into question, he confidently asserts that they were issued by the FBI during his tenure with the agency. It is at this moment that the officer begins reciting the man's rights, ensuring that he understands them.
So the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used in the court of law. If the right stop.
Continuing the conversation, the officer asks if the man had the opportunity to consult with an attorney prior to any questioning, mentioning the provision of legal representation by the courts in case he cannot afford one.
Talk to an attorney, have him present with you prior to any questioning if you wish one. Sure. If you cannot afford one will be provided to you by the courts.
The reason for the man's arrest is revealed to be related to the presence of red and blue lights.
So the reason you're in cuffs, okay, is per NRS. Unless you're a sworn officer. I know in Nevada you guys do. Yeah, you're not allowed to have red and blues. Sure.
Which is restricted unless one is a sworn officer, expressing surprise.
You work for the FBI at one point?
I've contracted with the Department of Justice and the FBI.
The officer returns to the man's credentials and discovers his past affiliation with the FBI. The man confirms his association with the Department of Justice and discloses that he had contracted with both organizations. Delving further, he proceeds to explain his current occupation and his intended destination, mentioning his contract work with Southwest Gas and his ownership of a cybersecurity company.
Contractor for Southwest Gas.
For Southwest, so that's like
That's
your
here, yeah.
that's your primary job.
Yeah, it's my part-time job, and I have my own cybersecurity company.
Unfortunately, the video abruptly cuts out, leaving us in suspense regarding what transpired next. However, one can sense that the police officers came to the realization that they had apprehended the wrong individual. It's CIA time, and prepare, because this one could mean a little bit more than just an unfortunate situation. 30 minutes after being pulled over by the police, Roland Carnaby accelerated away, initiating an hour-long chase between him and the authorities. During the pursuit, Carnaby informed the officers that he was a CIA agent, but they did not believe him. When Carnaby eventually exited his vehicle and made a sudden movement towards something, the police shot and killed him. Although the officers' actions were deemed justified under the jurisdiction, the case has taken an unexpected turn. Carnaby's wife is represented by attorney Randall Kalman, who plans to call Secret Service agents, FBI agents, and even former President George Bush as witnesses if the case goes to trial. Kalman asserts that President Bush will testify about his previous associations and personal acquaintance with Carnaby, as well as Carnaby's involvement in uncovering 2 assassination plots against the former president. While the former president's spokesperson had no comment on the case, Kalman believes that the testimony will demonstrate that Carnaby fled from the police because he possessed confidential CIA information in his car and wanted to protect it. Kalman argues that Carnaby knew he had done nothing wrong and viewed the arrest as unlawful. He also claims that the police were inadequately trained for such dangerous confrontations. On the other hand, the city attorney simplifies the case, stating that Carnaby was initially stopped for a traffic violation and then chose to flee, leading to a complicated and confusing chase. The unfolding events make this an intriguing and complex legal matter. Conspiracy theory much? We've included this video as it serves as a poignant illustration of police officers engaging in bullying behavior. Let's delve into the details of the incident. The video showcases 2 police officers from the Kansas City Police Department, Cole Motor and Marco Olivas, who had been tailing a car for a considerable distance in Raytown, Missouri. Eventually, they pull over the vehicle and a man steps out. One of the officers explains that they stopped him because the license plates did not yield any results.
Plates don't come back to their thing. So there's a traffic stop on you.
In a surprising manner, the officer addresses the man as bro and inquires about his destination. Confused by the line of questioning, the man identifies himself as a detective. The officer casually instructs him to relax before returning to their police car. Unfortunately, their conversation is audibly captured, revealing derogatory remarks directed towards the man. Following this uncomfortable encounter, the individual, identified as Robinson and of black ethnicity, claimed that the stop was unlawful. He expressed his belief that he would not have been pulled over if he were white. Civil rights activists, police experts, and legal scholars have characterized this incident as an exemplification of the toxic racial culture within law enforcement. Remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel as we continue to bring you compelling court stories that unravel the intricacies of law enforcement encounters.